Starting your day with drama again, huh? And you still can't be bothered to rinse out your cup, Adam. Oh boy, are we doing the whole nagging wife routine again? Honestly, unbelievable. So yeah, same old scene. She's already parading around in that worn-out raspberry-colored robe, hairbrush clutched like a weapon, eyes narrowed like she's about to pass judgment. And me? I'm barely upright in the kitchen, haven't even managed a proper sip of coffee, and boom, we're deep into Act 3 of yet another household soap opera. No build-up, no breather, just straight into it. I'm done. I've had enough. I'm leaving you, she declares, like she's gunning for a Best Actress award. I let out a half laugh, tight and uneasy. I mean, how many times are we going to do this? We've been breaking up for 3 years now. Usually it blows over by dinner. But something about today, I don't know, it felt off. Like someone threw away the script and went rogue. So I snapped. Loud, sharp, fired up. Oh, you're leaving? Really? Who's going to take you in, huh? Who else would deal with all your crap but me, the idiot who still does? Well, that's when it hit the fan. Stacy, now officially the ex, though back then she was still just my wife, went dead quiet for a few seconds. Not the usual pause, but the kind of silence that makes the air in the kitchen tighten, like even the pots and pans are holding their breath. And then just like that, she dropped the bomb. So you think no one wants me? She said. I've been seeing my boss for the past 6 months. He says I'm the best thing that's ever happened to him. And you know what, Adam? I believe him. Then she walked out. The door slammed so hard it rattled the walls. The cat, startled out of his 9 lives, launched off the wardrobe and bolted straight into the bathtub. Meanwhile, I just stood there staring at my coffee like someone had slipped cyanide in it. I mean, I'll be honest, saint I'm not. We argued constantly. Silly stuff most of the time. Wrong movie, wrong towel rack, wrong tone of voice. Sometimes I'd catch myself wishing she came with a mute button. But even with all that yelling and door slamming, I loved her. In my own messed up, lopsided way, I really did. At first, sure, the rage kicked in. I had this wild image of barging into her office, grabbing that smug boss of hers by the tie and yelling, "Hey, hand over my hurricane." But I didn't. Because deep down, I knew it wasn't about speeches anymore. That ship had sailed. 3 days later, she showed up out of the blue with a couple of guys who got straight to work packing her things. No drama, no eye contact. Just the sound of zippers and boxes shutting, like the final clicks of a closing chapter. I didn't say a word. Just poured myself a glass of whiskey and watched her life get folded and stacked into cardboard. Even the cat came and sat next to me on the floor. I swear the whole thing felt more like a wake than a breakup. I spent the next 6 months, well, let's just say, living like a proper miserable hermit. First came the heartbreak, then the bitterness, then more heartbreak, until it all melted into this messy cocktail called, I don't know what I want, but I'd really like it to hurt a little less. Every now and then, I'd have these dreams, not the usual shouting matches. Number in those dreams, we were tender. She'd wrap her arms around my neck, sobbing, swearing it was all a lie. No boss, no affair, just a mistake. And maybe, just maybe, we could fix it. And every time I woke up, I'd feel this blind urge to hurl my phone across the room. Because it wasn't just a dream, it was my brain screwing with me. And I knew better. I had the receipts. Yes, I starred in a low-budget detective story. I tracked down one of her colleagues, the one who was at last year's corporate party. I cornered her in a cafe. 5 minutes of guilt, one overpriced latte, and boom, all the information was on hand. It turns out that Stacy was hiding in some kind of rented apartment for which her boss was paying in full. You know, the same guy who once promised her a new life in another country. Spoiler alert, he never picked her up. I don't think she was quite suitable for the role of an expat wife anyway. Fast forward to a lazy Saturday afternoon. I'm standing in the kitchen with my shirt unbuttoned and my underpants pulled down low, cooking steak like a true soldier of the fatherland. And yes, don't pretend to be so surprised. I've really learned. Then the doorbell rings. I shuffle over, open it, and there she is. Stacy, in the flesh, breathing like nothing ever happened. She walks in like she still knows the place. Heads straight for the kitchen, grabs the coffee, pours a cup. And just like that, let's give it another shot, she says, and I just stood there, frozen, between okay, I'm dreaming, and where's the hidden camera crew? Okay, hold on, just stop, I say. And it doesn't come out in my usual husband tone. No, this one's sharp, cold, like a cross-examining prosecutor. You get that I could forgive a lot. Hell, maybe even most things. But cheating? That's where the line is. I can't. I close my eyes and I see it. It makes me sick. She lowers her gaze, drops into a chair, silent. And in that moment, it's like I've floated out of my body, hovering just above us, watching this whole scene play out like a courtroom drama. And I'm thinking, well, Stacy, let's hear it. What's your move now? And then softly, she finally speaks. I made it up. Back then, I just wanted to get under your skin. You told me no one needed me, and I wanted to hurt you back. And just like that, a tear slides down her cheek, real heavy, and lands right in the middle of her coffee. I stare at her, and for a second, yeah, it almost looks like something out of a cheesy movie. Cue the music, a reconciliation, tears, hugs, maybe a roll of credits and that neat little happily ever after tag. But you know what, Stacy? I say, steady now, almost calm. You really sold that scene. A plus performance. There's just one little problem. I know you weren't making it up. I've pieced it all together. Every last bit. I know the address of the apartment. I know who paid the rent. And I damn well know who you were sipping morning espresso with. She bolts up like she's been burned, cheeks flushed red, eyes wide. The coffee cup slips from her hand, crashes to the floor, splashes everywhere. The cat, of course, takes off like a rocket. Second time that week, he's seen his life flash before his eyes. Stacy snatches her bag, doesn't even look back, and heads straight for the door. And don't forget to shut it behind you, I yell after her. Curtain call, or so I thought. A week later, the same colleague, yes, the one with the latte, calls me. He says that the boss boarded the plane and flew away. Gone. He didn't even leave a note for Stacy. He just said, "You're great, but I have other plans. 1 month of rent is paid. That's all." The end of the fairy tale. So what's the takeaway here? Simple. If you think lying is just tossing around a few harmless words, congratulations. Come join my ex-romantics club. We gather Fridays. No women, but plenty of beer and pizza. Oh, and one more thing. Yeah, I wash my cup now, every time, just in case. Cheating Secrets podcast like me.